Hi. Hi student. Today we are going to do May-June 2020 0653 paper variation 42. It's just a normal paper. Figure 1.1 show represent a cell. Label it. So correct. Cell wall, chloroplast. Name two structure that only occur in plant cell. So it's correct. Represent an animal cell from a trachea. So our trachea, we got a cilia, correct? Not our cell here, trachea, there's this cilia. So what does this cilia do? Okay, cilia are describe its structure and its function. So the student get 1 mark. Okay, the structure is hair-like structure, and the function is to move mucus. Okay, so here I say mucus because cilia usually is more related to the movement of water or liquid lah, mucus. Okay. Part 1.3 show a food web. So we can see this is a food web. What is food web? Food web is a combination of food chain. So I can see many food chain at here. Correct or not? 1 food chain, 2 food chain, 3 food chain, 4 food chain, 5 food chain, 6 food chain, 7 food chain. I think there are total of 7 food chain in this food web. If you count lah, Hey. Okay, this one down here. Next page. Continue from here. Define the term consumer. What is defined by consumer? An organism that gets its energy by feeding on other organism. This in terms of consumer, not eat organism lah, but by I think the keyword is get its energy by feeding. Okay, get its energy, that's the keyword lah. Of course, eat, I can assume that eat is equivalent to feeding, but there is no word from the student in terms of energy. If then organism that eat other organism to get energy, then maybe I will give correct. I just say maybe lah, but this is the marking scheme. List all the 30th consumer from the food web. So the student didn't get marked for this one. He get frog and faces.
What faces? Foxes and frogs.
Fox and frogs. Yeah, I thought it's face. Another one is owl. For let's see, this one is 30th consumer.
Owl is like wait.
30th consumer is number 3. Let's see, 30th consumer for owl. Frog correct ma? 1, 2, 3. So frog is number 3. Sorry. What?
Correct, frogs and foxes also can, because grass rabbits those foxes or.
Yeah, so that's why is 1, 2, 3 foxes. I read like fox or foxes. 1, 2, 3 the owl, and one more is 1, 2, 3 the frog.
So the answer is acceptable, right?
Your answer according to the marking scheme, you need to get 3 correct. So again,
I need to have all.
Yeah, it depends on the marking scheme. If the marking scheme say
this all
that then I just follow lah. It depends on the marking. Sometimes maybe the marking scheme say 2, sometimes it say 3, but I just follow the marking scheme. Explanation. It is the 4th trophic level, correct? So you get 1 mark. This one wasted lah. This is really wasted. Actually, science, I think most students lost mark not because they doesn't know how to do, but maybe they are mistake or what. Need more practice. Complete the food chain, blah blah blah. Very easy. You get 1 mark. Describe the arrow in the food chain. So what does the arrow means? The arrow means the transfer of energy. So that I mean the whole food chain is actually want to show the transfer of energy. Okay, this one. Each word may be used. 1. During photosynthesis, light energy transfer into chemical energy by chlorophyll molecule. This one makes sense? Yeah, chlorophyll. Let's look at page number 4. Okay, so this is a fractional distillation of petroleum. Elaborate, you correct all, and you get 1 point. Okay, I think if you wrong one, then you won't get any mark. Fraction A is a mixture of compound. So fraction A is at the top part here, refinery gas. They are all hydrocarbon. Describe two other ways which compound fraction A are similar. So fraction A are similar in terms of it is the form of gas. Yes, all is form of gas. And the second one will be it has similar boiling point. Okay, so we can say that it has similar boiling point. We cannot accept same general formula because everything also same general formula. So yeah. State 1 used for naphtha making chemical. This one you can get from your supermarket. Okay, like naphthalene pill, a lot of things that make all this naphtha. Methane and pentane. Methane and pentane are homologous series of alkane. Okay, state 1 is mean by homologous series. Okay, so the keyword is a similar compound with similar properties due to the presence of the same functional group. The answer will be same general formula. Same general formula, but I still give correct because same functional group. I still give correct. But the marking scheme mentioned same general formula. Okay, so write a balanced equation for the complete combustion with oxygen. So very good. You just need to write it and then add the oxygen. Then you get carbon dioxide and water. Balance it. Just make sure that you do the oxygen is the last one. Then you should be able to balance it correctly. Okay, let's balance correctly. If you don't get it balanced correctly, you will just get 1 mark. Figure 3 show a sheet of metal at the sea floor. The dotted line show the column of sea water vertically above the sheet. We exert pressure on the metal sheet. So basically, what is this question talking about? I think this question is talking about the pressure on the floor of the ocean. Because as you know, as you go deeper down the ocean, then you will have a higher pressure. That's why submarine, when they go too deep, they break, because there's a formula to calculate the deeper you go, the more pressure that you will be facing. Of course, it depends on surface area. Okay, the surface of the sheet is measured 2 times 2 meter. The sheet is 80 meter below surface. Calculate the volume of the seawater. So it's very easy. Calculate the volume of the seawater. Blah blah blah. 80 times 2 times 2. You get 320. Okay, so you get 1 mark. The density of the seawater is 1030. The density of distilled water is 1000. Okay. But because it's seawater, so there is a 30 kilogram of salt in 1000 kg of water. The Earth's gravitational field strength is 10. Okay. Show the weight that the column of the sea on the top is. Means you want to show the pressure. Find for me this pressure on the sheet. So what formula that I should use? Okay, first we need to find the mass first. What is the mass of this whole thing? So the mass of this whole thing is mass equals to what? Mass equals to density times volume. Okay, so the density is what is the density? 1030. Okay, 1030 times the volume. What's the volume? The volume is 320. So I will get, you press your calculator, you will get something like 329600, and the unit will be meter cube. The unit will be kg, mass ma. So I just write here kg. So from here we can see that the word kg is, and here is correct already. So I just, what I need to do next is, so the question asked about weight. I thought it's talking about pressure, that's why I feel like okay, so the weight, what is the formula for weight? Weight equals to mass times gravity, correct or not? So mass will be 329600 times gravity, which is 10. So you will get 329600 Newton. So of course the same lah, just like the make it, round it off, power of 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah, you still get by the same thing. Okay, 3.3 times 10 power of 6. Can? Yeah, so actually the whole question usually they tends to ask more about pressure, because it makes sense lah, as you go down deeper, then it is more, the pressure will be higher. Of course the weight is more, but this one is more easy, right? You just need to get the mass and then times the gravity. Calculate the pressure on the column the C. So what is the pressure? Pressure equals to, so pressure equals to, usually I will just, oops, pressure equals to HPG. So H will be the height, P will be the density, and G will be the gravity. So density times gravity times height, you get 824,000. So 824,000, or we call it as Pascal. Depend on what, how many pressure that you can take. So another, this one you need to know, and another formula for pressure will be F over A, which is force divided by area, and you can see lah, then your answer can be these two unit. Okay, N over M power of, power of what lah, this one 2, or you can write it in terms of Pascal. So you can count lah, and you can count the pressure, or you can increase the pressure by reducing the area. And with this pressure 824 for human, you can try by using like something and then reduce it to the surface area. You get back the 824 pressure and putting it on yourself, see whether something bad will happen or not. 80 meter, I think human cannot swim until here lah. If I'm not, can humans swim until here? I'm not sure. 80, very dangerous already lah. Show a crane lifting the metal sheet from the sea floor. So what does this mean? What, Archimedes or what is it? Lighter? I don't know. Is it? I mean the metal sheet will be lighter, right? But one thing I feel weird is use cable. The cable stretch according to Hooke law. What? I mean cable can stretch one. I mean maybe stretch little bit lah. A little bit, because it, unless you want to use a rubber cable. So I feel weird why he said the cable want to stretch. Sketch the diagonal extension of extension of the cable as the force increase. So this is correct. Okay, it will be a proportional line. But why you want to use cable? I still don't understand until now. But usually exam won't ask lah. Okay, there's something like this. Okay, after it passed the elastic limit, it will be something like this. Usually it's like this, because it has passed its elastic limit. like the spring lah, usually according to Hooke law, after you pull, it will manage to go back to its original length. But once you over the elastic limit, it tends not to follow the Hooke law. It won't go too down, and there is a limit because the spring, when you finish pull already, there is a limit to it, and it doesn't work anymore, and the spring could not return back to its original position because it's already past the elastic limit. So but this question didn't ask, but if the question asks if it passed elastic limit, ask you to draw, you need to draw something like this. Okay, it's curve, and then this is a straight line. I don't have ruler, but this is something like straight line. Okay, because it's already past the elastic limit. We just put here elastic limit. Okay, but the question didn't ask. This is what page? Page 7, page 8. Oh, now suddenly we go to the plant, so we can see lah, from one topic, then he just jump to another topic, that whatever you learn from exam, they try to ask here and there a little bit. Figure 4/1 show a similar stock of celery, like I think you guys got it. I think celery is very good to reduce, if I'm not mistaken, is to reduce blood pressure. So if you got high blood pressure, maybe you want to eat a lot of celery then. Yeah. But for for young people, you guys don't have this. But remember lah, one day when you got already, then you can eat celery. Placed in the water containing red stain, X and Y, the different humidity. So you're talking about red stain, so probably they want to show the, I don't know, osmosis, diffusion, or what, or transportation of water liquid to the leaf. Okay, so there's a red stain, correct, but this one is, which one is more humidity? What did it say? So here is so he didn't say which one is more humidity, but we can see that distance move upward is 75, which is more. So why move more? So if move more means this one is less humid, correct?
Mr. Billy, I don't understand, like, what does it mean the red stain move?
Wait, I just write here more humid. Okay, the red stain the red stain move means the color lah. The color move up, correct or not? Eventually the leaf will become red. So then use celery rather than other plant, because I don't know why celery tends to absorb the water easier. So eventually when you put in, we do in kindergarten experiment usually we put celery into the coloring food, the celery will become red. If you put yellow, it will become yellow. If you put green, it will become green. But that one is what we do in kindergarten. But for this one, we can do it. We want to calculate how much it can absorb. So for this one is 75 millimeter. So probably here is 7.5 cm. And then this one it go up, but you only go up until here on it maybe. So let's say this one is how many cm? 4.5 cm. So the assumption that we can make is what are a few assumptions that we can make, because the assumption that I make is this is more humid. So because it's more humid, there are more water in the surrounding of the plant, so the plant tends not to absorb too much of water. But of course you cannot see water, that's why they put coloring. We just want to see the absorption of water. We cannot see water, but we can see the coloring. And this one is the red stain. They put it more humid and less humid, more dry, so it go up faster. So less humid also it show more rate of transpiration. And this one or maybe the whole experiment to show transpiration. If more humid, the rate of transpiration will be lesser. So depend on what country. For example, this one maybe I put in Malaysia, because Malaysia is hot and humid. This one I put Afghanistan. Yeah, I put India lah. Usually I use example of India. Afghanistan also okay lah. Which is actually hot and not humid. So of course here is better. That's why always rain. It's a very nice country. The distance of rate strain weather travel is thought is measured. The result is shown. So this is my inference where there's less humid, this is more humid. Calculate the difference of distance. So this one is a bonus mark. 72 minus 45, you get 27. If this one you cannot do, you can use calculator. Explain your answer A1 in terms of humidity of the environment X and Y. So when the humidity environment increase, the slower rate transpiration, so you get 1 mark. So first thing that we want to say in this question is we need to say that environment X is more humid. Okay, so environment X is more humid than Y. So I just write down here first. And oh my gosh. Environment X more humid than environment Y, and then we want to explain a bit. So we can say that transpiration increase when there is lower humidity. Okay, so just put here transpiration increase when lower humidity. So this is another mark for this one. Due to what? Due to the increase of water vapor. Due to the increase of water vapor. P-O-U-R, British vapor. Or vapor. The US will say vapor because the US will say why you want to add the U. It doesn't make sense. You're just doing more work for getting nothing. And then the British will tell the US you didn't follow the correct English, something like that. So
What do you mean increased water vapor?
Here lah, means here got more vapor. Here is more sorry. Here is less humid, so it's less vapor. Less vapor, and this one will be more vapor. So what do I mean? I mean that the transpiration increase when lowering humidity. Means when your humidity is low, the transpiration increase due to the increase of water vapor gradient
in the environment.
So for this one, it say due to the increase of water vapor. Maybe you can due to the maybe you can say due to the decrease lah. I just put here lah. Due to the decrease of water vapor in the environment. So I think this also makes sense lah, because if you got lower water vapor content in the environment, so your transpiration increase. So for this one, transpiration rate at lower humidity increase because due to water vapor. So this point number 3 actually I don't really understand what does it mean by the transpiration increase due to it. I don't know whether this one is linked to point number 2. Sometimes it is separate, so I'm not sure lah. I think it's separate thing. So my advice is for this question, environment X more humid than environment Y. Transpiration increase when there is the lower humidity, full stop. This happen due to the decrease of water vapor content in the environment. So just follow these 3. This is my advice lah. Or if you understand this, then you can write this answer. I just feel very weird for the point number 3. Name the tissue which transport water upwards towards the stalk in the celery. Is xylem to transport water and phloem to transport food. Okay, so this one you need to remember. Xylem is at the, sometimes they ask you to label. So xylem you will be always in the inner part. Okay, let's this a plant, inside will be usually the xylem, the outside one will be usually the phloem. It depends sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's round, so I don't know which diagram, but one thing we know is xylem is at the inner part of the plant. Plant get nitrate. So nitrate, what is the function of nitrate? To make amino acid. If you don't have enough nitrate, you will have stunt growth. Okay, so for forest, flower and food, and for magnesium is for building of chlorophyll. Describe the effect of nitrate ion deficiency stunt growth. Of course you can say yellow leaf, but the marking scheme only accept stunt growth, so you need to write, or the marking say is poor growth, but stunt growth okay, poor growth, stunt growth. Continue. Number 5, the equation of magnesium carbonate with HCl MgCO3 plus HCl, you get magnesium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. The reaction between magnesium chloride and hydrochloride is exothermic. So exothermic, what does it mean by exothermic?
Release energy.
Yeah, okay, release energy. Okay, heat is being released. Heat energy is being released. The diagram show 5 by 1. Draw the activation energy arrow. So the Sundoi correct. This one why you didn't do the word reactant and product.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, this is also a common mistake that students do. Sometimes students didn't see, so so 1 mark gone off because of like this. Don't be surprised. This is actually a very common mistake that student will do. So I just put here reactants.
Under the line or above the line?
Anywhere lah. You want to write under the line so can how above the line so can as long as you at a suitable place lah. As long as you put in a suitable place. Yeah. Not only for combined science, physics, chemistry and biology also sometimes the student forget to see the question. I think more on physics because it will be 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 and the student what is it B, investigation effect of the temperature on rate of reaction. Of course we know that if the temperature increase, the rate of reaction will increase. So measure in terms of she uses acid for 20 Celsius, which is room temperature, I would say, right? 20 Celsius, I think it's around room temperature lah. So he didn't do anything, he just do it in the science lab, I think. She measured the volume of carbon dioxide produced, so she get this one. Sorry, I didn't even read the question. Sketch the graph result to obtain when she repeat the experiment at the temperature of 30 Celsius. Other variable keeps answer. So when you do at 30 Celsius, the thing will go faster. Okay, so it's correct. So but I only give this one 1 mark only. Why?
I didn't label
No, because you didn't draw a straight line. It should, yeah, okay, so it's supposed to be here, and yeah, it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, so it's supposed to be. If you draw go up, means you got more already. Then it come down. So maybe the examiner will give 2 mark lah, but I don't know why I just give 1 mark. Okay, can give 2 mark. Explain your answer using the particle collision. Of course, the increase of kinetic energy will increase the particle collision. Another 1 mark is move faster or move more, so I didn't see anyone. So the student get 1 mark because the another 1 mark for this question is kinetic energy. The kinetic energy increase, so the rate of collision between particles increase. So the student just get 1 mark. Carbon dioxide is one product between magnesium carbonate and hydrochloric acid. Explain why scientists concerned about an increased concentration is carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Again, the student get 1 mark. Of course, one of the 1 mark is because carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and it might cause flood, it might cause the climate change, global warming, and so on. So it is
So I
correct.
need to write examples.
But the marking scheme here is the answer only lah. Global warming and greenhouse gas. So because it is a greenhouse gas which cause global warming, and if you want to put example also it's okay lah. If you're not sure, usually if you're not sure but you think that is sure correct, then you can put the example lah. But the marking scheme didn't write. Wait, let me read the question again. Explain why scientific. Yeah, you can put the example because you say explain ma. So while explaining global warming, flooding, climate change, so it makes sense to the question. Even though the masking team don't have, but you never know, maybe it have. So when you have, then you get a mark. If you don't have, then it's okay, you are still correct. The magnesium chloride is another product reaction of magnesium carbonate and HCl. One substance that can react to get magnesium chloride. So what you can do is either you just use magnesium or you use magnesium oxide. Yeah, the student write chlorine, but chlorine doesn't make sense because magnesium chloride is another variation of magnesium carbonate. So he asks you to get magnesium chloride, then you just put chlorine and hydrochloric acid. So the magnesium already missing, so it's impossible to get magnesium because chlorine plus hydrochloric acid, no matter what you do, you still don't get the magnesium. Okay, a little bit more to go. Maybe this one we do as a last question. Figure 6.1 show a man holding a metal rod. So he's holding the metal rod. I think for the first time I see IG, they asked the wrong question. For the first time in my
What
life.
wrong question?
Later we'll go to it. Show a man holding a metal rod, a hot flame. After hitting the metal rod for 1 minute, it glows red. Makes sense. However, probably due to the conduction, correct or not? Conduction of heat. The man suddenly dropped the rod, and because it's too hot, yeah, because due to conduction, so the particle vibrate until it reach the hand, and it's too hot, you drop it down. Metal is a good conductor. Metal travel for a flame, correct, because the kinetic energy, correct, and it vibrate. So
Which one is the keyword?
yeah, wait, I'm looking for the keyword. So of course I put it correct lah, because another keyword is here the marking scale is passes from the atom by collision.
Kinetic energy increases also can.
Yeah, but you follow this one, kinetic energy will increase the collision of particle.
Okay.
So just add this one, and then vibrate, you get increase the vibrate. Of course, the one more is reference to free electron, also you can write. So yeah, I give 2 marks. Suggest why the metal rod took as long as 1 minute to become too hot to hold. So it takes time for the heat energy to travel to the end of the rod. So this one I think is a bonus question, because let me show you the answer. So the answer for 6.2 is loss of thermal energy by rod radiation or convection. Suggest why the metal took as long as 1 minute to become too hot. I think I'm not sure. I think the question should be suggest a metal rod So that's why the metal rod took as long as 1 minute to become too cold to hold. Something like that.
Huh?
Yeah lah, you suggest why metal took as long 1 minute so that it become cold to hold. So because it's due to the loss of thermal energy by the rod through radiation or convection. Yeah, I'm not sure lah, but I think it's a bonus question lah. Moving on, B, when heated, the metal rod goes red and then yellow as it goes hotter. State the type of electromagnetic radiation. So this will be the infrared, because we know that infrared usually carry the heat energy. The heat, usually the sun produce gamma ray, infrared, and light. Okay, three things that the sun can produce. So usually the heat energy come from the infrared from the sun, but the sun also producing gamma ray. So not to be confused, like gamma ray make us feel hot, because it's a different. You feel hot from the sun is due to the infrared. But I mentioned many times the gamma ray from the sun is unhealthy. I'm not talking about the morning. I'm talking about the noon when you stand outside. Then it is really unhealthy. It's Malaysia lah, Malaysia sun. I don't know, maybe other countries sun is more softer or what, I don't know. The metal rod is a shiny silver color before it's heated. After heating, the rod is covered without black oxide. Yeah, or probably the metal mixed with oxygen, correct or not? So it will produce state the effect of the change will affect the rate of cooling. So the thing become black. In terms of black, the rate of the cooling will increase because it radiates heat easily. Because black color radiates heat. Black color is a great absorber of heat, better than white. But black color is more easy to lose its heat, to radiate heat. So I'm not sure, maybe, but I cannot.
Yeah, I know I mistake already.
State the speed.
300 km per second.
300,000 kilometer per second.
1,000 kilometer.
Yeah, infrared, gamma ray, and the light, they travel at the same speed, which is 300,000 kilometer per second. But the marking scheme say 3 times 10 power of 8 meter per second. So it's the same thing lah. The km you convert it to meter, so it'll be 300,000,000,000,000 meter per second. Then you there's so many zeros. So but I like to remember by 300,000. But IGCSE always write this lah. 3 times 10 power of 8. Calculate the time taken for the red light to travel from Mars to Earth. Calculate the time taken. Do we have the distance? Time equals to distance divided by speed. Okay, so distance divided by speed. So here already give you the distance. 60 blah 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 divided by the
300,000.
divided by, because this one is in, wait, let me write the unit so I won't confuse. So here is really km. So be careful because I don't know, sometimes the question write meter or km. So since it's write km, it makes my life easier. I just use back what I remember over 300,000. So what you get, (200 seconds). Correct? Yeah, so 2 marks. Okay, 1 mark for the formula and your working, 1 mark is for the correct answer.
So I get 1 mark for the formula.
Yeah, wait, let me check. No, because here the marking scheme say the 1 mark is 6 times 10 power of 7 times 1000. Means, time. So for this one, they convert lah. So better you just convert lah, because I know IGCSE they always use meter per second. So you just follow his way lah to be safer. Just follow his way, and the student asked me, do my formula get 1 mark? Yeah, usually the formula will get 1 mark. But then this marking scheme don't have, so I just follow lah. But usually the formula got 1 mark. So, but the marking scheme didn't write, so that's why I just check wrong. Okay, so question 7, I think I will continue next time, and I see you again.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.